morning, friends. Welcome all of you for the Health and Wellness program organized by Chronic Foundation in association with Rotary Atinaga, Bangalore. Today's topic is something the world started talking about this. Sri Narendra Modi said, yoga is a discipline that must be followed lifelong, and yoga is vital for health of all the people. Especially this COVID has popularized to the next level. The whole world says the yoga is the best solution till we get vaccine. The speaker is going to throw a light on yoga for health and wellness. We have with us the multifaceted personality to speak on yoga. My relationship with him goes way back 30 years, maybe 1987-88, during my engineering in Tumkur. I was really inspired to read about him and his achievements when we reconnected recently. I know all of you will definitely get inspired to know his achievements more than yoga. His father was a very popular homeopathic doctor that time in Tumkur. He had just completed his engineering and also parallel did his pharma course, and he was supporting his father in a clinic. Later, he got government job based on his diploma in automobile engineering and became a brake inspector in RTO. Being government officer, he never relaxed and stuck like others. He did parallel MA in political science, then MSc in yoga. He did not stop there. He also continued research and completed PhD in yoga, the philosophy and meditation. He has been honored by many organizations, including government, for his achievements in yoga like Yogacharya Award, Patanjali Yoga Nidhi Award, Yoga Ratna Award, and Nadaprabhu Kempegowda Award from BBMP. Still, he is serving as a senior inspector of motor vehicles in RTO Nelamangala. He has a passion towards serving a society. His focus area like education, yoga, road safety, pollution, and health awareness programs. He has conducted many awareness programs on vehicular pollution behalf of the Transport Department, road safety programs for auto rickshaw drivers, BMTC and taxi drivers, college students, Rasta Jata on road safety, air pollution and sound pollution awareness programs for the public vehicles, and diabetes awareness programs for the public. He is instrumental in organizing a World Environment Day in the Transport Department. He was organized many health and yoga awareness camps in larger scale, Surya Namaskara camps, Suryatana camps, World Yoga Day celebration, International Yoga Day, yoga philosophy and practice for the many government departments, conferences on meditation and spirituality, organized Ratha Saptami in Vidhana Soda along with the government of Karnataka. He has written and published many journals nationally and internationally. To name a few, I mentioned only few since the journals were more than 2 pages. Yoga is a natural medicine for his health and happiness. The role of yogic activities for psychosomatic disorder and ability to endure traumatic circumstances. Yoga for wellness and lifestyle disorders, a comparative study of wellness index among yoga and non-yoga practitioners. He also written a book and published and very popular Surya Namaskara for better health management in English, Uttama Arogyake Surya Namaskara in Kannada. More than everything, he is also founder and president for Samyama Arogya Dhama, which is there in Basaveshnagar and branches at different locations. Friends, present to you, Dr. Dhanvantri S. Wadiyar. Sir, welcome you, sir. Friends, nowadays the people are becoming a more health conscious. Everyone choose different method to keep fitness. Of course, yoga is catching up across the world, especially after Honorable Prime Minister drive and made International Yoga Day. Today, let's understand from Dr. Dhanvantri S. Wadiyar what is the yoga philosophy is all about. The moment yoga means some people immediately they get connected is a religion. What he says about that, how yoga can increase the immune system and how yoga different from any other fitness activities, and how really the yoga changed in his life because he becomes so disciplined and so much achieved in his life. So let's understand from the Dr. Dhanvantari S. Wadir. Friends, please post your all questions on the chat box. We will take up these questions. We'll make it more interactive this session today. Over to Dr. Dhanvantari S. Wadir.
Thank you, Ramesh ji. I welcome all the team members. As our Ramesh ji has introduced briefly about my activities and my yoga field, everything, I don't want once again to go in deep. Directly we'll go with the things what we today, the program is chalked out yoga, health and wellness. Let us begin this session, wonderful session, with the prayer, offering our salutations to Lord Dhanvantari. Namami Dhanvantarim Adidevam Suravandita Padapadmam Loke Jara Mrityu Bhayanashanam Vividaushadinam. Offering our salutations to Dhanvantari, this is an occasion to pray Dhanvantari because we are in such condition. Today we are facing lot of sufferings, disturbance in our life. So let us pray Dhanvantari to give, to bestow his honor all of us on the society. My topic today, what we have taken is concept of health according to WHO, Ayurveda and Yoga, health and wellness, diseases according to modern science, Ayurveda, Yoga, immunity and immune system. Yoga and other Ayurveda systems helps to develop natural immunity, current pandemic situation, and how we can prevent this, and also this pandemic situation, how we can take control over these through yoga skills and also Ayurveda to our immunity. Coming to the point, concept of health, everyone knows what is WHO. Let us see what WHO says. Health, according to WHO, it is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. It is not merely an absence of infirmity. Ayurveda says a balance between body, mind, spirit, and social well-being. So in Ayurveda, health is known as yeah, it means satisfaction and comfort. Yoga says it understands health and well-being as a dynamic continuum of human nature and not mere a state to be attained and maintained. So that is, lowest speed of vibration is that of death and highest vibration is that of immortality. In between these two extremes is the states of normal health and disease. So if we analyze these three, modern medical system or W definition about health and health according to Ayurveda and Yoga, we can correlate each other. WHO says it is a state of physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. It talks about well-being. Ayurveda talks about peace, satisfaction, and balance between the mind, spirit. Yoga understands the health and well-being as it is a continuum, dynamic continuum of human nature and not mere a state. It is not a sthiti or a state. It is to be attained or maintained. Whenever we took birth, from that birth state to the end of our breath. So in these lies, the extremities lies the state of normal health and disease. So it is not to be achieved or maintained. So yoga says it is acquired knowledge. Health is a state, health is a birthright and there in our every human being. It is not a state to obtain or acquired or achieve. According to Bhagavad Gita, Yuktahara Viharasya Yuktachestasya Karmasu Yuknava Bodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukkaha. One who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Sri Lord Krishna says moderation in everything, eating, sleeping, recreation, and work. Who follows the moderation in his life will be always healthy and will not suffer from any pain. So let us go to the next topic, health and wellness. WHO understands being is a vital aspect of being healthy as well as being wealthy. So wellness is something, it is not physical health. It is state being happy and being healthy and also wealthy. That means you should be healthy at the same time you should be also happy. For example, what the currently based system says, the investigation reports, on the basic investigation reports, doctor says that investigations are normal. When a patient goes to doctor, verifies the investigation report, he says everything is normal. But patient themselves are not feel well. Their reports are, they says themselves as they are not feeling well. Then what is health? What is wellness? So I here comes into picture Charaka in Sutra Sthana. He says Charaka Samhita Samadosha Samadvishcha Samadhatu Malakriyaha Prasanna Atma Indriya Manak Swastya Ityabhidiyate. Ayurveda says what is swastha? Swastha means what? Health means what? So dosha must be in equilibrium. Doshas, three doshas, vata, pitta, kapha, doshas should be in balanced in equilibrium. Digestion must be in balanced state. Samagvishcha, samadhatu. Dhatus and malas must work in normal state. Dhatus means tissues and malas means waste. Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha, sensory and motor organs along with mind and Atma must be always in a state. The person who is having this, the pleasant state of sensory and motor organs, five sensory Gnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, along with mind and Atma, so when they are in prasanna state, happiness, pleasant state, person is called as a healthy person or swastha. Swastya Nitya Bhidiyate. When acquire, when we follow these, Samadosha, Samadhishta, Samadhatu, then we can be called as an healthy person. Health and wellness are closely related to the lifestyle of an individual. So how we can achieve this health and wellness? So it is not health and wellness, it will not come as usual. It depends on individual, how the people live their life. This tremendously influences their health and disease. So health and wellness depends on the lifestyle condition of a person. Lifestyle of a person determines many factors. So how we can achieve the health? Like poor nutrition or rich nutrition. If the people take rich nutrition, they will become obese. If they go under nutrition or poor nutrition, they will suffer a lot of diseases. So their economic status also plays very important role in maintaining the health and wellness. Sedentary lifestyle. So not having any physical exercise, on chair working 24 hours without rest and relaxation, without proper head, counts and also plays very important in managing health and wellness. According to Ayurveda and Yoga Shastra says, holistic health according to Yoga and Ayurveda, it's on these factors. Ahara, Vihara, Achara, Vichara, Vyavahara. Again, once again, we recall this Bhagavad Gita shlokas, Yuktahara Viharasya, Yukta Chesta Karmasu, Yukta Swapnava Bodhasya, Yogo Bhavati Dukkaha. Like moderation in ahara, food. Food consists of not just the food in a stale food or any food prepared for the long time, eating the food prepared from a time, or like hotel food, external food. It is not that. Ahara means sattvic food. He says about sattvic food, making the mind sattvic, and when we take the in a sattvic state of mind, that ahara or food becomes sattva. It should show that qualities of ahara, sattva, nutrition. Vihara, relaxation or rest. We need lot of rest. So when the mind gets lot of rest and complete rest, 8 to 10 hours of sleep, according to yoga, when we do the practice of yoga nidra shavasana for 1 hour, or even if you practice 15 minutes of yoga nidra, or even we have cyclic meditation practice, it gives 3 to 4 hours sleep. So vihara means not physical body or not recreation or going outside and enjoying the outside materialistic world. It's deep rest to the mind. When we give rest to the mind, so we will get more and more health and happiness. Achara means right attitude. Right attitude means when we interact with each other, when we come in contact with the public. So our achara means our activities, duties must be in a right way, right action. So thinking must be right and also action must be right. That's why in next mm, limb he says vichara. Vichara means right thinking. When we think in a right way, the action should be followed achara, vichara. So right thinking and right attitude or right action plays very important role. In nowadays situation, people thinks in different and acts in a different way. This causes lot of sufferings in their mind. And vyavahara also means business. In every day-to-day activities, whatever the work we take, that work must be in the yogic way. It also should follow the karma yoga, principles of karma yoga. Niyatam sangarahitam aragadvechataha palapala prepsnuhu karmaha. Means we should have the sense of duty. That means we should have, we should perform our work with the sense of duty. That is niyatam, sangarahitam, without attachment to the duty, fruits of work. Achara, vichara, ahara, vihara, achara, vichara, and vyavahara. Vyavahara, once again, niyatam, sangarahitam, araga dveshataha. Means you should not have any likes and dislikes in our work. Ahara, vihara, achara, vichara, vyavahara. Vyavahara plays very important role in our day life because we most of the time we communicate with one and all or in our day-to-day activities. So very important, yoga plays very important in our vyavahara. So niyatam sangarahitam aragadveshataha palapala prepstuhu karmaha. We have to perform action without any expectation of result. So Bhagavad Gita also says karmanye vadikaraste teshu kadachana. So this is the very important aspect in yoga. So to the disease point, we need to know what is disease according to modern perspective and Ayurveda and also yoga. Because we know now we understood what is health according to three systems, but we should also know what is disease. So modern medical system says dysfunction of dysfunctioning of organs and systems, which may be due to chemical defects, external atmospheric agents like allergens, toxins, pollutants, or infectious germs. So modern medical system says disease comes through these things: external atmospheric agents like allergens, toxins, pollutants, and infectious germs. Whereas Ayurveda says about lack of proper cellular function due to excess or deficiency in Vata, Pitta, Kapha. We call it as Tridosha. So it can also be caused by the presence of toxins. So imbalance in body, mind, and conscience leads to disease according to Ayurveda. So these three systems, doshas must be balanced in always to maintain a good health. So according to Yoga Vasistha in his treatise, he says modern diseases such as asthma, anxiety, hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, etc., are called as Adija Vyadis. These are stress-borne diseases originating in Manomaya Kosha or in the mind. According to yoga, this originates in the mind. According to yoga, Taittiriya Upanishad says the concept of body is Pancha Kosha, 5 levels of koshas. So Pancha Kosha means physical body, Annamaya Kosha. Every human being, these 5 koshas, 5 layers, 5 sheets. So the external outermost body is Annamaya Kosha. Next comes Pranamaya Kosha. Next Manomaya Kosha. Next Vijnanamaya Kosha. Fifth is Anandamaya Kosha. Every human being's nature is Ananda. But we forgetting this Ananda, nature of Ananda Kosha, we enjoys, gets happiness, feeling with the wrong notion of when we have the physical entities, when we get all the physical things, we feel that physical body we get happiness. This is the wrong notion. So the origin of diseases according to yoga is not in the body. The disease start in the mind, then percolates in pranamaya kosha and leads to the annamaya kosha, where occurs in the different organs called as diseases. So there are different types of disease: psychic disease, psychosomatic disease, somatopsychic disease, and organic disease. So modern medical system treats the organic disease. So the disease which occurs in the organ, whereas yoga treats the disease in the mind. Other category of disease such as infection, injuries come under the anadija, which essentially are physical in nature and can be tackled by modern system, medical system effectively. Modern medical system treats these the diseases which physical nature like infections, injuries, they comes under anadija vyadi. So because of the natural calamities, the people will get suffer from the lot of infections, injuries. These can be treated effectively through the modern medical system. Whereas Adija Vyadi, the stress-borne related disease, have to tackle by yogic way. So coming to very important topic now. So we understood what is health, wellness, and also what is disease. Come important point, immunity and immune system. So we all know what is immunity. So the ability of an organism to resist a particular infection or toxins by the action of specific body or sensitized white blood cells. We possess the antibodies in our human cells and tissues and organs. So the ability of an organism to resist the external invaders. That's why we possess the immune system in our body, like other systems, nervous system, circulatory system, etc., like endocrine system. Human system is spread throughout the body. Our body in every cell, so involves many types of cells, proteins, and tissues. These are also known as, it is a combination of these, the immune system. Our immune system always fights against to the encounters, like against to external invaders, like soldiers. Our immune system acts like soldiers. So pathogens like bacterium, virus, etc., when they enter human body, this immune system fights against to them. When our immune system becomes weak, the and will get attacked with the diseases easily. Some of our immune systems are thymus, spleen, bone marrow, and lymph nodes. There are a lot of every is acts like an immune system. So present situation we face the lack of immunity in our human body because of lifestyle. We suffer from lot of diseases. Even for some small cold cough, we attack when any cold comes. When long number of breeze comes, we suffer from lot of cough disease because we are not facing, our immune system is not face the situation. This is what the present situation we are suffering. So how yoga and Ayurveda help develop natural immunity? Coming to the point, yoga is a spiritual therapy. Actually, yoga is a lifestyle therapy. It is originated in India. Why it is called as therapy? Because it's spiritual. It is called as spiritual because it integrates mind, body, and soul. So many researchers have proven the benefit of yoga, including psychosomatic disorders like hypertension, diabetes, etc. There are a lot of research studies shows how the yoga helps in combating the psychosomatic disease. And some of the studies proves the benefits complex, including physical postures of body, reduces stress, improves blood circulation, and boosts the immune system. According to new research in the behavioral medicine, yoga helps to boost the immune system and decreases inflammation in the body. So when any virus or bacteria attacks the human body, the inflammation occurs in our human cells. So yoga helps to reduce this inflammation and brings back the original state of health. One important stress among three stresses: physical, mental, and emotional stress. Psychological stress affects many systems in the body. When one feels stress in his mind, he brings out lot of diseases in the body, including weakening in the immune system and increasing in chronic inflammation. As understood, the origin of disease according to yoga is so psychological stress plays very important role in bringing this disease in the body, where it disturbs the immune system and brings chronic increases the chronic inflammation. In one study, it is found yoga increased the level of anti-inflammatory cytokines such as IL-10. There are lot of antibodies in our body, antibody cells like IgA, salivary cortisol, SOD, leukocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, monocytes. There are different kinds of antibodies are there. Even inflammatory response, namely IL-10, IL-6. These are all antibodies. So this yoga study says that increased the level of anti-inflammatory cytokines. Another study, yoga mediate inflammation at the genomic level, changing levels of proteins and control the DNA transcription of pro-inflammatory cytokine genes. So yoga here it comes into the picture when people suffering from psychological stress. Like there are a lot of yoga skills when we practice, we can come out of this psychological stress to maintain good health. So coming to the present situation, current pandemic situation, we are very interested now because we are under lockdown period. Last since from 2 months, people are suffering from lot of stressful diseases. Though they are not able to express themselves, so studies now are being conducting to check how people are reacting to this lockdown period. The people are suffering from lot of anxious and anxiety neurosis disorder. Some people also suffering from depression because of their future thinking, because lot of companies will have closed by the time, lot of peoples will lose their jobs. So because of this, they suffer a lot with the anxiety neurosis disorder. So Ayush Department, Government of India give a beautiful suggestion to this COVID management. Coming to this, what is this coronavirus? We can little bit, all of you are aware of this coronavirus now. These are large family of viruses that causes from common cold to severe disease, as middle is respiratory disease, severe acute respiratory disease. So whatever the thing, we don't go into deep about coronavirus, but any type of virus, if attacks to human body, we have to fight with that. And also now WHO also recommends that if you boost up, if you maintain your immune system properly, so then only we can survive with this corona. And also we have to live with that corona disease. Corona will be there, not only corona, like corona, there are a lot of virus diseases, lot of viruses are there, which come every 6 months, 1 year like that. We have to go along with that. Even the boosting immune system is very important. Otherwise, we cannot survive. In WHO also recommends. So, Ayush Department has given certain suggestions. Government of India, Government of Karnataka, we have to take preventative measures. So Ayush management through Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, it has suggested certain medicines and also certain yoga skills, practices to manage immunity and immune system. So these acts as preventative and prophylactic. And we have to go according to this. we have to prevent the disease and we have to manage the symptoms with COVID-19 like illness, and also we were according to the guidance of the government, like interventions to the conventional care, like managing with the sanitization of our hands and also maintaining cleanliness. This cleanliness also tells in yoga system also, it is known as so shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara, pranidhana. These are all the rules we have to follow according to yoga. Our body not only important, cleaning our body and also cleaning our mind, purifying the body, purifying the mind also important role. Maintaining the social distance. So these are all the preventions you have to take along with the preventative measures according to yoga and Ayurveda. Now let us coming to the picture. Yoga helps to develop, boost up this immunity. See, yoga is not just a set of physical or certain set of breathing practices. It is an all-round personality. Yoga consists of all-round personality. It develops all-round personality, physical, mental, emotional, and intellectual and spiritual personality. Spiritual personality means spiritual awareness is very important, but I don't want to go in detail. In last decade, what we got H1N1, you might have know, there is one research that the spiritual awareness against influenza A and H1N1. How to go with this and along with the modern system of vaccines and all, how these skills will help. So it is also important to follow these yogic skills. So in all the aspects, so Annamaya Kosha means physically we have to practice certain techniques, yogasanas, Surya Namaskaras, certain asanas which are recommended because for the practice which helps to boost up the immunity are Bhujangasana, Dhanurasana, Rukshasana, Virabhadrasana, and Tadasana. To they gives not only physical strength, they give also mental strength, boost up the immunity by releasing the white blood throughout the body. Actually, one of the asana, recent study, Bhujangasana, its ability to reduce fatigue and stress. Bhujangasana means as pose or snake pose. It stretches the upper portion of the body, opens up and to release WBC to improve immune system. It stimulates the digestive organs, which helps to obtain more nutritional benefit from food, ultimately fuel for immune system. Another asana, Matsyasana, an immunity strengthening pose. It detoxifies us and boosts energy level. So likewise, there are different postures in yoga. Viparita Karani boosts nerve connection. It improves blood flow and utilizes the body. Pada Hastasana relieves congestion and protects sinus and mucous membrane, which over the first form of defense, which comes under the first form of defense. Like Dhanurasana is one important posture. It helps to improve the flow of white blood cells by putting pressure on the digestive system. Digestive system is full of lymphocytes. The small white blood cells fight invader, boost up overall immunity and health. Likewise, the cleansing techniques. Yoga in Hatha Yoga, we call it as cleansing techniques, cleaning all the internal organs like Jalaneti, Sutraneti, Simha Garjana. Different kriyas are there which are very much useful to combat this virus disorders. When we practice this, they will fight against this and they will not make to virus enter into our system through nostrils. Because two openings to take food or to take air. One is nostril and one is mouth. If we keep these two in order, disease or virus will not enter. The bacteria will not enter. So very important. Like Jalaneti and Sutraneti, and for throat Simha Garjana Kriya. Because virus for some time they will be in the throat. So when we practice this Kriya, they expels the virus. Science of breathing plays very important in yoga, like pranayamas, Kapalabhati, Bastrika, Nadi Shodhana, and Brahmari Pranayama. All the practices plays very important role in managing the rhythm of our body. There are three types of rhythm which controlled by breathing. So these three types of rhythm, circadian rhythm, another two rhythms of our body, if the breathing is not in a balanced condition, so this rhythm will varies and human being suffers lot of diseases. So pranayama helps to control and help overcome these disorders. And like Kapalabhati, Bhastrika, Nadi Shodhana pranayama means balancing pranayama, helps to balance the nadis and makes to utilize the prana by all the cells. And Bhramari pranayama, female be making a sound of female, helps to reduce insomnia, sleeplessness, the people who suffer from mental stress. By practicing this pranayama before going to sleep, this we can be reduced, and also the people who suffer from hypertension to this pandemic situation, the BP will be always raised. No, when we once we check, the BP will be, blood pressure will be right. This can be controlled practice of this pranayama. One more thing is deep relaxation is most. So deep relaxation can be obtained by instant relaxation and quick relaxation and deep relaxation technique. These are the techniques which are founded by our Swami Vivekananda Yoga Kendra. So Swami Vivekananda Yoga Samsthana, which is an world-class yoga university. So these are all the instant relaxation, quick relaxation, and also deep relaxation. When we give these deep relaxation to our body mind, the health will be in balance. Even yoga nidra practice, sleep helps to overcome all these mental, physical, and emotional stress. And also, apart from these physical, mental practices, we have bhakti yoga in yoga, gnana yoga, karma yoga. All these three, along with raja yoga, psychic control or controlling the mind, to balance the mind and the body, one towards the spiritual health, because health is a state of physical alone. It is a state of physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, social, and also spiritual. And obtain the spiritual health, the physical health or mental health are all temporary. So this where spiritual awareness comes into important aspects in this maintaining of our health condition. So in the next classes, we will go again as this spiritual awareness, how we can develop the spiritual awareness with examples and all, and how we can maintain these pandemic conditions. Coming to the next system of medicines, Ayurveda, our Indian system, ancient system like yoga, it very plays very important role in all our human beings condition, because we can get all these things. Indian medicines are really worthwhile to boost immunity, because even world is looking towards India. As we know, India is now becoming Vishwaguru because of this Ayurveda and yoga. Ayurveda tells maintaining the dinacharya and yeah. Dinacharya means lifestyle, everyday aspects, starting from waking from morning to go to go bed. We have to maintain certain life principles, including our food, taking of water, everything. It plays very important role. When we follow these dinacharya, our health will be, our immune system will be always in healthy condition. And seasonal practice. So seasonal practice also very plays very important. Herbs like spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, ashwagandha, gaduchi, tulsi, pepper plays very important role in good immunity. So I request all of our followers, now team members, to practice this making replace these herbs instead of tea. Tea and coffee, in place of tea and coffee, you go with ginger. And those who likes milk, you can add turmeric powder to that milk and drink like golden milk. If you drink to 150 ml as suggested by Ayush, so our immune system will boost up and prevents lot of this viral disease. Ginger very plays very important role. Ashwagandha, there are a lot of experiment are going now and about ashwagandha and gaduchi, and we will expect the result. And all are very important role not only preventing the cold, it acts as antiviral also. Certain fruits like citrus daily make the habit of one amla. So this is very important to maintain our the immunity. Citric acid fruits contains ascorbic acid plays very important role in managing and maintaining the immunity, like fruits like pineapple, apple, guava, orange, very along with vegetables like beetroot, carrot, pudina leaves, methi leaves, drumstick leaves, and also novel cole. All these plays very important in boosting the immunity. Make the habit of taking vegetables and fruits first in your meals, lunch or dinner, a plate full of fruits and vegetables. Make a habit of drinking 1 glass of water, hot water before food. So then you go for 1 plate of vegetables, you take all the salad and then of fruits, and then go for millets or millet diet or chapati, ragi, whatever it may be. So it is found that ragi also plays very important in boosting of immunity. So as we are South Indians specially are making have the habit of eating ragi every day in different forms. So this is one important cereal, and also kind, kindly make the eating this ragi along with other carbohydrates. And you can use sesame oil and also coconut oil. Oil is acts as antiviral. You know, there are a lot of researches have been conducted on and also recommended coconut oil. If you put two drops in each nostril every day, morning and evening, and drinking 1 spoon of coconut and using coconut in food also very important. So it prevents the viral disorders and acts as an antiviral. So make the habit of drinking or oil pulling 2 to 3 spoons, putting in the mouth, and throwing out, expelling out. This also, if the worms are in the mouth, it also expels out. These are a very important Indian herbs and oils, vegetables. So Ayush management, you follow preventative, prophylactic, system management, and also along with all other details or suggestions given by our lockdown period. We have to make yoga way of life. Just a practice physical sharira madhyam kalu dharma sadhanam. Whatever we want to do, we have to use the body. So, but yoga acts on mind. We need physical body in healthy condition to follow yoga. So I request one and all to please yoga, adopt the yogic way of life to get complete health and wellness. So with this conclusion, so let us follow our ancient medicine systems. These are all our ancient systems, what very much, very essentially required at present condition. So I request one and all to adopt the yogic way of life for positive health, not only health. Health means positive health in all aspects, physical, mental, social, emotional, and spiritual health, well-being. So thank you one and all for patiently hearing.
We have a few more questions I think you will take. I think you covered so much in a short time. You covered yoga, health and wellness, and meditation, immune system, and dinacharya, Ayurvedic science. So much you have covered. It was very very informative and very crisp. It was so very understandable for any common people. So now we have a few more questions from our audience. So we will take up those questions. I think see the one question I think Renaka Mahesh is posting. Yoga helps fibromyalgia. If yes, what kind of exercises be advisable?
So in yoga techniques, there is a technique called as Sukshma Vyayama, subtle practices for these musculoskeletal disorders, rheumatism, myalgia, fibromyalgia, all arthritis. We have a technique, Sukshma Vyayama, which is very important for these kind of arthritis and also that rheumatism. So if we need, we can demonstrate in the future sessions. Vyayama for joints and also certain subtle part of our body like toes, ankles, joints, and all the conditions will be boosted up where vata will plays very role in this type of fibromyalgia disorders. So when we remove this vata by the practice of Sukshma Vyayama, the health condition will.
Yeah, see, we have the next question from Mayanka Gaur, asking about, I think, the same question. Joint pains can yoga can be beneficial for joint pains.
Yeah, really.
Can heal
If you practice regularly, if you make the habit of preventative measure, like Surya Namaskara simple practice or some asanas, they strengthens these not only muscles, they also blood circulation, so that you will not get, this prevents the wear and tear of the joint also. Like osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, they will be benefited by the practice of yogasanas. Get more strength through like asanas like Virabhadrasana, Tadasana, and these practices strengthens the thigh muscles and the joints also. So yogasana will help definitely for to prevent, not only to maintain, to prevent also. It acts as a preventative medicine. So we can start the practice under a guidance. Yeah.
Fine. So the next question from the Bharati asking about, I think now so far you covered yoga for general. So for the age group, maybe for the kids of 9 years, any specific yogas or meditation for reducing the hyperactiveness? And
hyperactive for kids.
Yes.
Hyperactive is the imbalance of this Manashakti and Prana Shakti. The action of the prana in the child body will be more. If we practice meditation, not only meditation, the mantra meditation and also balancing pranayama, nadi shodhana, this helps balance the energy level in the child, and the overactivity will come down. But don't feel that overactive children are bad. Because nature of the flow of energy in their body, they will act like that. You put him to yoga regularly, the energy system will be balanced. It will not be 1 or 2 days. If you practice every day, means at least 3 months of practice will bring down the overactive child, the prana, into balanced condition. Then he will perform his activities in natural way. So Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, Gayatri Mantra chanting, and also you can practice the meditation, Yoga Nidra. You can teach them. From 9 years, we can start the teaching of yoga. Yoga is not, it is from 8 years to 8 years of old. Everyone can practice according to their body condition. We have to attend asanas, pranayama, meditation. So only if you see the condition, we can suggest certain practices to come up all these any diseases or disorders.
So
right,
we have a question from Rakesh Yadav. Any specific time to be followed to practice yoga to get more benefits? Is there any specific time to follow the practice of yoga to get more benefits?
Yoga should be practiced in the morning because we get positive energies in the morning. Especially yoga begins at 3. Strictly speaking, this is Amruta Vela, we call it as Amruta Vele. So this is auspicious time to yoga, but because of our day-to-day lifestyle and living habits, working conditions, we can practice in the early morning 6 to 7. Even we can practice 6 to 7 in the evening also. And certain pranayamas are there. We can practice before lunch, before dinner, in the empty stomach. So it is a way of life. Yoga practice, it is not our practice, morning or evening. It is all day we have to be there in yoga. Karma, Krishna Bhagavat says, yoga is a state of yogastah kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Means you have to be in yoga and action. Whatever you do action, your work, you should perform in the way of yoga. So the karma yoga plays very important role in your attitude and in practice. So for physical benefits, we have to practice in the morning and the evening. Okay.
Sir, we have one more question. Mr. Sushant Sarkar, he is a runner. In fact, he is a runner practicer. And he has a question. Is running and walking is a part of a yoga? And what is the relationship between yoga and for athletic activities, for the sports and athletic?
See, here the application of yoga comes into picture. Yoga can be applied every field, because as we understood yoga is a way of life, It is not just physical practice and it is not just exercise. When you unite mind and body, you are running. When you unite your mind in your physical body, when you combine this, because yoga says yoga means union, joining. When you join the mind with the body, you will be relaxed more and you can achieve more success in your. You can run till more. The people who are success in running and all, they follow principles knowingly or unknowingly because they are following, but they don't know because they use their mind and prana and unite with the and to, they will be successful. Like athletics and also sportsmen like cricketers also, they practice this state of mind because the mind when goes or the mind gets deep relaxation, the result is better. Use these techniques, relax more, deep relax technique before practice and even also after practice. Because the thing is, the runners will not relax more. They perform and they don't. There is yoga practice. When we practice, utilize our muscles, we will be relaxed. That's why yoga techniques, stimulation and relaxation. When it stimulates the muscle to relax, so that muscles will get more strength. So this is the principles. So you have to relax the body, you have to reduce our breathing, slow down the breathing and calm down the mind. Then when we calm down the mind, the things will happen very smoothly.
Yeah, we have again a similar question from Bharati. She is a runner. I think she felt that now 45 minutes running before yoga always more effective. So, do you suggest 45 minutes running or walking before yoga?
I think if they are professional in running or jogging like that, they are professionally athletic, so they have to follow certain yogic principles, practicing as is the yogic way, the prana in their running. Prana means breathing. When we follow the rhythm of the breathing, the muscles will relax more. And after running, if they relax more with deep relaxation technique or yoga nidra, the muscles will be relaxed more and become smooth like flower. And then they can perform this running in a better way in their next day. And I suggest that if we practice Surya Namaskara, 12 Surya Namaskara, as the science says, research says that if you practice 12 Surya Namaskara per a day, so it is equivalent to 45 minutes. So if they are habitual or if they are passionate to go with, they can do in the yoga way and they can perform pranayama and meditation afterwards, after the practice of running. They relax more, 15 minutes, then they go for pranayama practice. The strength will improve, their health will improve.
So the
Yes, sir.
next question is again, I think they've asked the same question. I think you all answered. Dr. Kuppaswamy is asking, can you share your Surya Namaskara demo? Maybe
Yeah.
they have your demonstration. Probably you
Yeah,
can share your link and maybe your demonstration of Surya Namaskara. I think will be useful. And we have another question from Vidya Gogi. Regarding the Ayurvedic medicine, is it suitable for all? Since once she has taken and she's getting an rashes and sort of a thing and allergic to the Ayurveda.
yeah.
So do you suggest?
Ayurveda medicines means what we said, Ayush is suggested now. These are all the spices what we use regularly. If they are not habit of using spice, now the children are always fond of this junk food. So pizza, burger like that. They are used of this. That's why they get allergy. If anything take in excess becomes poison. So if they don't know how to use this, so they have to follow a doctor. They have to consult a doctor for the dosage and all. Everyone can use in the form of in their food. If they make the habit of using all these herbs in their food, they will make that will be easy to follow by their kids. And there will be, if you take excess, you will fall into these allergic disorders. Try to understand and also dose. Dose is very important for kid also, adult also, and for old age people also.
Yeah, now I think Mr. Basuraj is asking, I think again your contact for making doing a course with you. Of course, we'll share your number to them. And the next question is there any asana to remove migraine? Does it work? Jyoti Mukherjee is asking about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, migraine is one of the is a mental stress. It is psychological stress, off-sided or one-sided headache. So if you practice, if because of stress, if their working conditions of stress, if they practice Chandra Nadi Pranayama, left side nostril Pranayama and Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, if they practice 9 rounds every day, morning, before lunch and before going to sleep, so their memory will reduce. And practicing of meditation. Meditation means, see, calming down the mind. They have to switch off their mobile or working. They have to stop their function of the mind 1 hour before they going to sleep. Because if they thought in their mind in the sleep also, their body will be in sleeping condition, but the mind will be awakened thinking of their work. So this causes lot of disturbance in the mind. They suffer from anxiety. This is one of the anxious disorder. So they suffer from migraine. Please follow the pranayama practice or what I said, Chandra Nadi, left nostril pranayama, inhalation 6 counts and exhalation 6 counts slowly. Follow this by closing right nostril. So this will help to come down this migraine. And if you balance the two nadis with Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, so inhalation through left and exhalation through right, inhalation through right and exhalation through left, following this at least 9 rounds, 4 times, and having this, making themselves to be out of this stress. Stress means it is the excessive tension. Excessive tension leads to a lot of psychosomatic disorder. So take deep rest before going to bed. Deep rest is more important. Follow Shavasana or Yoga Nidra. If you want, I will send this Yoga Nidra and Shavasana before going to sleep. So there, if you practice one or 2 months, their energy system will be balanced. And following the principles of Karma Yoga, as I said in their work, so definitely these disorders, but not only migraine, psychosomatic disorders will go away from the body and mind.
So the next question from Renka Mahesh, is it a good practice to have fruits in early morning in empty stomach?
So empty stomach is very important. After the food, you cannot practice. Only thing after the practice, there is one asana for improving your digestion. Vajrasana, if you practice starting from 30 seconds to 5 minutes, helps to improve the digestion. The only asana is recommended after the filling of our stomach. Rest of the practices we have to carry out in the empty stomach, at least 4 hours after the meals or breakfast.
Their question is actually to have fruits in the empty stomach.
Fruits, yeah, you can take the fruits. Only it is better to have 1 glass of water, especially lukewarm water. And if they have any digestive problem, they can drink water sip by sip, at least up to 4 glasses. So fruits are not recommended before practice. Even they can have little 1/2 glass of milk. Better start practice with the water, and then they can practice. Afterwards, they can go for fruits. Fruits are not suggested after the food. If they are under during their meals time, so they have to take before meals or before dinner. The peoples are habit of taking banana night meals. It is wrong. It leads to digestive disorders. So have the fruits before lunch or before dinner, then go for lunch or dinner.
Yeah, the next question from Vasudev Raj, when to practice pranayama, before or after yoga?
No. Yoga is pranayama is a part of yoga. Yoga is not, please listen, understand clearly. This is a doubt, everyone. Yoga is a system. Under that system, there are 8 limbs. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana. So, pranayama is practiced after yogas. And you have to practice after 30 minutes of yogasana. After the relaxation, you have to practice 15 minutes of pranayama, then go for meditation. pranayama leads you towards the meditation. Is it clear?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think now it's clear. So the next question is, we have a question from Ram Prasad. Is it possible to gain a weight through yoga?
Yeah, weight through yoga. See, there are two nadis system. Our autonomic nervous system divided into two. One is parasympathetic nervous system and one is sympathetic nervous system. Right portion, right nostril is called as sympathetic. So when we practice right-sided nostril breathing, the weight will reduce. If you want to increase weight, you have to practice Chandranadi Pranayama, left side nostril, parasympathetic nervous system. You have to boost up this, practicing this Chandranadi Pranayama 27 times touch, 4 rounds, 4 times a day. Morning, before lunch, in the evening, and before going to bed with empty stomach. You practice at least per week, they will increase 1 kg of weight. So if they make up the habit with good nutrition food, definitely yoga helps to increase the weight. Yoga is not only for reducing the weight, it also makes you to understand the self. With reducing your weight, it makes you to understand the life.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
So I think many of the people have this question, concentration becoming a tough while doing the meditation. Renuka Mahesh asking this question. During meditation, breathing exercise. So they has a tough in the concentration. So what is the technique to attain that?
Yeah, concentration once again in yoga that as dharana. So we are mind is like that. Mind is like monkey. So we have to train that monkey mind to make self concentrated. So this is an habit. You have to make the habit of practicing in a proper way. If you practice meditation, meditation is a contemplation. Before meditation, you have to practice dharana. There is one technique in our yoga, Om meditation. So for spiritual benefits, we have to concentrate the mind on Omkara or visualizing the picture of Om in the mind and recalling and contemplate Omkara only, then it will take you towards the state. So make the habit of observation of prana, breathing movement. When you sit for meditation, just watch your breathing. So don't go, even the mind plays very important role like monkey. So it goes here and there. Don't worry about that. You have to, because these are all samskaras, imprints in the subconscious mind. When you sit for meditation, many thoughts, positive thoughts, negative thoughts will come in the mind. You should not analyze or criticize the sound, maybe positive or negative. We have to watch like an umpire. We have to watch the thoughts like an umpire with the Sakshi Bhava, with the witnessing attitude. Then after sometimes the thoughts will go, we can concentrate the mind on breathing and continue the practice of meditation. So hardly it takes 5 minutes to sit. Once if you make habit of sitting 5 minutes in one place, then increase up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day at same time. If you sit one morning, you make the habit of sitting at one place in the right time. The habit of 5 minutes sitting, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then concentration will develop automatically.
Fine, I think we are running short of time, but I will take one last question. The last question is, what is the technique to reduce the numbness and leg while doing the Vajrasana? From Vasudev Raj is asking.
Yeah, the Vajrasana is a thunderbolt posture. Use blanket, folded blanket under the ankle initially. Don't go directly because you will get numbness, pain in the ankles. Use folded towel or blanket and start with 5 seconds, 10 seconds. If you beginner, make use of this time. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, increase 15 seconds. Twice you have to improve your body position. Initially, if you go for 15 seconds or if you go for 1 minute, you will get all this pain. And use this folded blankets. Automatically, if you practice regularly, the numbness pain will go. You can sit up to 5 minutes without any risk. Only thing is when you are suffering from arthritis, osteoarthritis, joint pain, you should perform this. you should practice under the guidance of a teacher. Right? I think it's clear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Wonderful. It was a wonderful session. I
Thank
think I would like to call Mr. Rajesh Nayak. He's the president of our Rotary RT Nagar. I would
Yeah.
request Rajesh to unmute yourself and request him to give a closing remarks. And Mr. Rajesh Nayak is a president of Rotary RT Nagar.
Namaskar.
Please.
Namaskara, sir.
Namaskara.
Really.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this a beautiful session.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. It was a very beautiful session.
Yeah.
Your qualifications are extraordinary. And your information today was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was brushing up a little bit of joint pain. I have got joint pain, leg pain. So I will practice whatever you have told.
Yeah.
I cannot sit in Vajrasana. It's very difficult, painful. So I will practice, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for.
One time we'll go for practical session also. As I am,
yes, sir.
I must be thankful to our Ramesh, my close friend from last 30 years. He has given an opportunity to speak to you, all people. So once again, I thank you, sir. We'll have practical session once. It will be more useful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir. I will talk to Ramesh, sir, and then find out how we can manage.
Yeah,
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we will invite, I think, for the Rotary physically, I think we'll have a demonstration class one session.
Correct.
So it was wonderful.
Exactly.
I will definitely post your number. Soumya, I think, post his number in the chat box so that everybody can reach him out. So to contact him. Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session and very
Thank you,
informative.
Ramesh. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we are very honored to have you here.
Yeah. Thank you, Ramesh. We'll meet once again.
Thank you.
After a long time.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll meet, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining all of you.